He should be mad at himself first. I mean, this is like a quarterback who just kind of pisses away the first 3 quarters, and then it's like in the 4th quarter he decides to show up and start playing football.
Why has he pissed it away?
I don't know. I don't know the game plan that was in his head, the people advising him, why they would for the first 2 years they had both houses. You know, why they allowed that opportunity to go by, and now all of a sudden now we're going to charge forward. Okay, great. Then you're going to find most people on board with you. But geez, you took an awfully long time.
I found this somewhat incomprehensible. I couldn't understand why he would allow the perception to be the Republicans are running the show, and allowing John Boehner to just run rings around him politically.
He got bad advice. I always thought he was his own man, and he took his own advice. Clearly, I mean, the New York Times a couple of weeks ago showed in their polling that with all his drift to the center and to the right, he hasn't picked up a single Republican vote out there in America. He's lost a good chunk of the independents and even some of the Democrats. It was a foolhardy mistake to head toward the center and to the right when the majority of the country is actually quite liberal on the issues, even though most people wouldn't call themselves liberals. Most Americans want strong environmental laws. They believe in equal rights for women. That 54% now believe gay marriage should be the law of the land. I mean, Americans are actually, except for the death penalty, fairly liberal on the issues.
To you, who is the least worrying Republican candidate?
Well, there's only one. I mean, there's only one that has sanity operating inside of him, and I mean, that's John Huntsman. I mean, when they asked who here believes in science, and he's like the only one to raise his hand. I mean, it's like they should have just gone through all the subjects. All those in favor of math, home ec, wood shop. You know, it's like, you know, but Huntsman.
I found Huntsman very impressive when I interviewed him. I mean, he speaks Chinese.
Right.
You know, he worked out that he gets what the Chinese deal really is all about.
But it's not just that. Here he was, a Mormon and a governor of Utah, and he got a civil union law passed that's not passed in many states that are not Utah.
Why is he not getting the traction?
He believes in global warming. Why isn't he getting the traction? Because he's smart. And he actually might win. You see, if the Republican Party and if the Tea Party was smart, they would run somebody who would not only get the Republican vote, but a good chunk of the independents and maybe even some of the Democrats. But they're not. They are on, as I said the other day on some show, they're on the Titanic. They're all on this boat, and they're just dancing to the dance band on the Titanic that's playing along while their ship is going to sink. The American public is not as crazy as those other 8 candidates, although the American public does like pizza, so they will like the one guy. But
let's have another break. Let's come back.